Thank you all for being here. Greatly appreciate you all coming out. Thank you for joining me today for the first stop on my Building Back Louisiana infrastructure tour across the 2nd Congressional District. It's only right and fitting that we'll be kicking off the tour right here in the city of New Orleans, in the shadows of the Green Bridge, to celebrate all the green that the infrastructure bill has brought to our country and to Louisiana. I want to start by thanking our esteemed invited guests who are joining me here today. We have our State Senator, Joe Bowie. We have our Council President, Helene Moreno. Other invited guests that are on the way, State Representative Jimmy Harris, Representative Jason Hughes, Council Member Cindy Wynn, Council Member-elect Oliver Thomas. And I'm so pleased to have with us today the DOTD Commissioner of Multimodal Commerce, Renee Laparolari, and the DOTD District Administrator, Chris Marvant. Today is a great day, a day that we celebrate the fruit of the labor of the Biden administration and the U.S. Congress, bringing badly needed resources back home to work on projects that are so desperately in need of repair. When we look at the advantages of what this $1.2 trillion will do for our country, and the sum $7 billion that will be right here in the state of Louisiana. The bridge that's just over my left shoulder here, that was referred to as the Green Bridge. Bridge hadn't been green since 1980. Now make no bones about it, the improvements that are going to be made on this bridge are far more than paint, far more than aesthetics. This bridge has been a work in progress for many years, a bridge that has been desperately in need of some TLC. What we will be able to do with this $41 million investment, $41 million investment, is to shore this bridge up, secure this bridge, and yes, repaint it green. But more important than its color will be the strength, the integrity, and the repairs and the correction of the deferred maintenance that we've had for so long. This is a direct impact on our ability to pass the Infrastructure Act and have it signed last month by President Biden. While I wish we'd had complete bipartisan support, I am proud to say that Senator Bill Cassidy stepped up and demonstrated that working together, Republican and Democrats, the true name, BIF, Bipartisan Infrastructure Bill, really means something, because it fights for the people of Louisiana. And if there's one thing that should be considered bipartisan, it's infrastructure. The importance of bringing resources back to the state of Louisiana, fixing our crumbling infrastructure, creating opportunities for economic wholeness in our community by employing people, and bridging the gap by putting these bridges back in safe hands. It's a win-win for the people of Louisiana. Today is the first of 3 stops that we'll have to make sure that we demonstrate word and work in action. Word and work in action. Promises made, promises kept. I'm pleased to have with us today 2 members of Transportation Development who will say a few words. But before I do, I want to give a few moments for our elected officials who are here to briefly say hi. I'll start with our Council President, Helene Moreno.
Well, first, thank you to you, Congressman Carter, for, of course, inviting me today, but really also for just the tremendous work that you are doing on behalf of our city, on behalf of our region. You are a freshman congressman that is just absolutely I mean, for lack of a better term, you're nailing it. You're doing such a great job, and we're so proud of you. And this is just one piece of it. And it's my pleasure to join you on this infrastructure tour. Let me talk about the Green Bridge, though. So the Green Bridge dates all the way back to 1967. For more than 50 years, this bridge, which is on the edge of our parish, has been really a key link for our economy. But as critical as it is, not until now have we seen such a major investment in its restoration. Not until now, with this federal administration, President Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, our Congressman Troy Carter, has there been such a focus on the importance of infrastructure like the Green Bridge. A prioritization and an understanding that investing in infrastructure like this bridge is at the end of the day a catalyst for job growth. That this type of investment provides opportunity and possibility, a path toward a better future for our people. That the Green Bridge actually can provide a little bit more green in the pockets of the hardworking people of our region. And here's why. As we all know, true economic development requires ever improving and more efficient connectivity. While our region boasts many modern tools of global commerce like those at the Port of New Orleans, it is clear that we must continue to grow our regional connections and address delayed improvements to existing infrastructure. Infrastructure is such a vital component to boosting New Orleans East and our region with a thriving economy and an excellent quality of life where everyone can get ahead. To create better paying jobs and a strong middle class, intra-parish infrastructure helps to attract, retain, and support diverse businesses that will employ our workforce and drive our economy forward. Bridges don't just support cars and cargo, they support our entrepreneurs and small businesses by building links to opportunities. And issues with infrastructure are not unique, of course, to the city of New Orleans or to the state of Louisiana. It's a significant problem throughout our country. In fact, in the United States, 1 in 5 miles of highways and major roads and 45,000 bridges are in poor condition. With that startling, yet not wholly surprising, data point, the Bipartisan Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act represents the single largest investment in repairing and rebuilding our nation's bridges and roads since the construction of the nation's interstate highway system. So, Senator Bowie, I know that you know that an investment like this will allow our city to be much more competitive. And Renee, I know that you know, most importantly, this competitiveness will yield benefits to communities that have too often been so left behind. And Councilwoman Wynn, I know you know that with the proximity of this bridge to New Orleans East economic anchors like the NASA Michoud Assembly Facility, the U.S. Coast Guard Base, Starlight Studios, GE, and Blade Dynamics, we can demonstrate to investors that we recognize the importance of ensuring efficient and well-maintained pathways to progress. Ultimately, bridges connect communities, economies, and people all across our country, and certainly right here in our city. They are symbols of growth and targeted development. They bring diversity, they create jobs. And as City Council President, I am incredibly proud to stand ready to work alongside our Congressman Troy Carter, state and federal partners to see remarkable projects like this one come to fruition and ensure we finally begin to make real generational investments in infrastructure for now and for the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congressman Carter.
Councilmember Wynn, if you would come up. We're fortunate to have our council member for the district here with us, and we'll have a moment for very brief comments from Councilmember Wynn.
Well, I just wanted to thank the congressman for inviting me here. And as I'm listening to Helene comments, my family has lived in this area for over 45 years. And I have crossed the Green Bridge so often that I can't even count the days. But as we talk about economic development, green infrastructure, I think about the families that utilize this bridge on a constant base. Thinking of disaster time when particularly families in the lower 9, when we're still dealing with the St. Clair Bridge, the North Claiborne Bridge, this is the other avenue where they could get out in reference to during hurricane season, and to know that there's investment in one of our bridges. It's really heartfelting. And thank you, Congressman Troy Carter, for working really hard to make sure that he brings the bacon home to the people here in District E, and as well as the St. Bernard Parish. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it,
Thank
sir.
you. And next we'll hear from our esteemed state senator who has the distinction of representing both Orleans and St. Bernard parishes, Senator Joseph Bowie.
Thank you, Congressman. At the risk of not being redundant, because my esteemed colleagues who came before me sort of gave you the history and pretty much laid out what this green bridge means to us. So I'll do like we do in church when you agree with the pastor. He says, let the church say, Amen. But I do want to say, first and foremost, thank you so much, Congresswoman, because you truly have kept your promise. And I am very happy, and especially to be one of the first, if you will, beneficiaries in terms of a representative to see that this infrastructure piece is one of the first. And I do have one message to DTOD from the residents, that when you use that green paint, make sure it's a green paint that stays permanent. Because fishermen want to know, when we say the best spots are under the green bridge, they get lost because there's no green. But obviously, this is an extremely important infrastructure project for us economically. And when I say us, I mean both St. Bernard and Orleans Parish. So I'm just so happy to be the representative of both those parishes. And once again, look forward to continue working with our great congressman. Thank you so much.
Thanks. You know, and it's been mentioned, the significance of this bridge is multifold. One, it puts people back together. Two, it creates the opportunity to have a safe passageway, to create partnerships with our state and local partners. I am so proud of the great work that DOTD has done under the leadership of Dr. Sean Wilson, who's being represented today by Commissioner Renee Laparola, my dear friend and an outstanding member of DOTD.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be with you all. LA 47 is an important corridor connecting New Orleans East and St. Bernard Parish, as you've heard. This bridge, currently DOTD is in the design phase to rehab and restore the bridge, which opened to traffic in 1967. We project that around April 2022, the project will be let. The scope of work includes cleaning the bridge, making structural repairs, and painting the bridge green again, as you've heard. The anticipated cost is about $42 million. This project is a piece of a much grander vision for Louisiana and our state's commitment to invest in infrastructure and development. Louisiana is slated to receive nearly $6 billion from the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. Statewide funding from the IIJA will be allocated in 6 areas: $4.8 billion to highways, $1.01 billion to bridges, $470 million to public transportation, $73 million to electric vehicle infrastructure, $179 million to airports, and $20 million to a more resilient transportation system that has the capability to recover from disruptions such as extreme weather. In recent years, we've relied heavily on federal dollars and innovative funding methods such as public-private partnerships to continue investing in our aging transportation system. With the IIJA funding, DOTD will be able to close the gap in funding on major projects and implement more projects to help slow the backlog of growing needs. For that, DOTD thanks Congressman Troy Carter, and who began this work as a champion for infrastructure, I'll say as a state senator recently, but probably as a House member and even on the New Orleans City Council, he's been a champion for infrastructure. Not only was he elected to the United States House of Representatives and earned a seat on the Transportation Committee, he's the only Louisiana member of that chamber along with Senator Cassidy in the other chamber, to get this funding bill passed for Louisiana and the nation. So for that, we thank you and our partners on all levels of government for the continued support to improve Louisiana's infrastructure.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you all very much for being here, and a huge thank you to our guests, our elected officials, who this region is very blessed to have you all as representatives in the vineyards, working tirelessly, giving your time, your energy, your commitment to building a better and a stronger Louisiana. As I mentioned, this is just the start of my Building a Better Louisiana infrastructure tour. We will highlight several other projects and programs that will benefit thanks to the passage of the Bipartisan Infrastructure and Investment Act. Tomorrow we'll head to St. James Parish to the Gramercy Bridge. And on Friday I'll be in Baton Rouge to discuss transit and rail investments from the infrastructure law. And the fourth stop will be next Monday the 20th in Baton Rouge at the Louisiana Minority Business Development Agency Business Center located at Southern University's Law Center. There we'll be highlighting funding and programs to support minority businesses and entrepreneurs within the infrastructure law. All of these are open to the press. And it's important to note that none of this happens without the vision, energy, and commitment of President Biden, who established the BIF and then worked tirelessly with both houses, proving that when we as a Congress, when we as a people work together, Republican, Democrat, independent or other, black, white, from any spectrum, any color, any religion, any age, any spectrum, we get things done. We put people first, we put party second. We put people first, we put party second. We take care of the needs of the people of Louisiana, and that's what we're standing here for today. A celebration of promises made, promises kept. We've got a lot of work to do. We pause today and celebrate this milestone, but there's much work to be done. I invite you to stay a part of that, to be a part of the progress. And I thank all of you for your tireless leadership and your continued commitment to the people of New Orleans, the people of Louisiana, and the people of our great country.